guys, and welcome to DM's Montreal Beer Reviews Season 8. As you've probably noticed already, I brought back the soundtrack from one of the previous seasons. Basically, I decided to take it a little more serious and sort of add the theme song. Well, in this case it's instrumental, but first of all, it's something that I composed myself. Second of all, I didn't want to change them every season like I used to. Another thing I'm going to do in this season is give you some of my expectations of the beer before I even before I even open it up. So to start the season, I've decided to go with a beer from Sierra Nevada. This is the Ruthless Rye IPA, and it's a 6.6% ABV rye beer from Chico, California. I really respect this brewery, and I've got the branded glass to go along with the beer. It was an early 2012 release from the brewery, and it was sort of intended to mark the transition between winter and spring. I believe by now they've stopped bottling this, but I'm sure you can still find it in certain places. I bought it in New York City mid-March and didn't want to go for a whole 6-pack. Just got one bottle for about $2. That was a good deal. Check out the description from the brewer in the description box. So some of my expectations of this beer: I'm not expecting a huge beer. I'm not expecting a watery kind of beer like the Pale Ale, which I'm not a huge fan of, even though it's a nice kind of hoppy beer, better than your average macro lager. But in this case, I'm expecting a bit more body, a bit more of that kind of dark side of grain, meaning rye, with a slight kind of peppery twang to it. I'm definitely expecting some hops from this beer, even though it's not entirely that fresh, but I'm still hoping this will be hoppy enough with that signature Sierra Nevada citrus taste. And that's about it. Not expecting a whole lot, but hopefully this will be a good beer. So let's go ahead and review the Sierra Nevada Ruthless IPA. Even though this is a rye IPA, it still looks very similar to the Torpedo Extra IPA from Sierra Nevada. It's that kind of copper color, I'd say. Slightly more cloudy, I think. So the aroma. Oh, this is really heavy on the grapefruit and the oranges. I'm getting a slight peppery note, and a very subtle hint of rye bread. Okay, let's give it a taste. It starts out with a nice citrusy bitterness, that great grapefruit zestiness, and then in the back, I'm definitely getting some pepper, definitely some hop oils, fairly dry, but I'm getting some sweetness in the back, so it's not too one-dimensional. This has met my expectations, guys. This is really good for my first rye IPA, which is probably a fairly recent style as well. I don't think I've seen any examples of this style in Canada yet. The mouthfeel on this beer is medium. Carbonation seemed a little high at first, but now it's again quite average, quite medium. But I'm really liking the balance between the kind of sweeter malts and the very bitter and peppery hops and the rye. So I'll be back with a verdict. Alright, so the verdict on the Ruthless Rye IPA from Sierra Nevada. I really enjoyed this beer. This is my first ever rye IPA, and I think that's a great place to start. Another great beer from Sierra Nevada. Once again, it's very similar to the Torpedo, but as I'm drinking it, as it's warming up, I'm getting more flavors. It really opens up even more. I'm getting a much more bready aftertaste. So at first it was just bitter and dry, now I'm getting that kind of lingering rye bread toast taste, I guess. All in all, still very hoppy, still very citrusy. There's enough caramel kind of maltiness to back it off with a slight hint of chocolate even. The peppery quality is just spot on. It's not too spicy, but it adds a little zest to the beer. The only small caveat I found is that if you let it warm up a little too much, it might start tasting the alcohol just a tiny bit. I guess I just wouldn't have more than maybe 2 bottles in a row. I really hope that Sierra Nevada makes this a regular release, because you know some of their seasonals come and go, but I think that's a keeper. They should at least make it a seasonal that will be released every year. That's really good. Grade wise, this is a really solid 8 out of 10. I think I would recommend this beer pretty highly. If you're used to IPAs and if you're a hophead but you just want to try something else, and if you like bready beers, this is good. If you prefer the drier kind of citrusy, piney IPAs, this might not be the beer for you. But if you like maltier IPAs, this will definitely be enjoyed. Alright guys, so that's about it for this first episode of Season 8. Once again, 8 out of 10 for the Ruthless Rye IPA from Sierra Nevada. Check it out and let me know if I've already had this beer. By the way, as you probably noticed, I'm wearing this better be your authority shit. And just wanted to give a shout out to James Lott and his crew. And in case you don't know what this is all about, click here and check out this lovely channel. These guys keep getting better and better, and I've been following their reviews quite closely lately, and really enjoying what I see. Thanks for joining me this time around. See you next time. Bye. Stick to the